Welcome back to another episode of A Dude and His Watch. I'm Matt. I'll be your host. It's been a while since I posted. I get real busy. You understand. I just thought today I'd do like state of the collection and sort of show you the watch box here. So here the brand of watch box is called Triple Tree. And it's pretty nice. It's piano black. I'm going to shut this. I had it open because, oh look, there I am. Really bad, reflection in there. So we've got a couple different settings for the winders. That's one thing I did like about this is, with all the watches I wear, I like to be able to have a rotation and not have to set them every time. And I know some people feel like you don't want to leave them running all the time or whatever, but I don't worry too much about that. I mean, if they can't take being on a winder, then they're crap. So, anywho, a couple different settings. You just switch it right here. I'm going to go back the other way. And then here, we have, it's going to go that way and then back to the left. And then kind of same thing down here. So like technically, you're supposed to read up and see what direction is the best way to wind your watch. I have no clue. I just put them on there. If it's a little fast or a little slow when I pick it up, I'll adjust it then. But generally I'm not having to switch the date every time or anything like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots down here. I really like these little cushiony pillows. Came with a lot of extras of those. I got those in storage. So let's put the box down. Oh, one thing I did want to show you, and I totally forgot. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Got the light. So if I back up on this a little bit here, you can see it a little bit better. And don't mind the mess in the background. I've got the computer up because there's some watches I need to show you. I need to talk about the problem that I have with watches, and we'll get to that. I'm not really much of an editor, so I don't edit shots or clips into this stuff. If I need to show you a picture, I got to pull it up on the computer. So, that's just how I am. Luddite, what can I say? You'd be horrified to know that I actually do work with technology, but anywho. So yeah, watch box, I've had this about 2 years. I believe this was about $175 on Amazon. And it replaced the just simple like $25 box I got a few years ago when I first started getting into the watches. So here we have the state of the collection for 2023. Really, I've been blessed. I've been able to get 2 watches this year. So we'll talk about those first. We'll go with the new additions. First edition of the year was the SPB 185, and I haven't done a review just on this itself, but I did, we'll say review it / compare it with the SBDC 051, which has since moved on. That was one of the watches I sold to put money towards the Monta. So. And I find that I think when I look at my videos, I think I do better comparing them than sort of doing one by one or, each individually, but anywho. So yeah, keep this one in mind. This is going to come into play later because I really like the case shape and design on this. The finishing is really, really well done, especially, what you can get these for, like secondhand market. You don't have to spend over $1,000 brand new anymore. And I've had this since about February. I did take it off the bracelet recently, and I put it on a Tropic rubber, which I decided I didn't like too much just because it sort of wobbled and flopped around, and that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind when I bring up the new obsession, the new watch obsession, and we'll get into that shortly. So, SPB 185. First watch I got this year when I probably shouldn't have gotten a watch. And then next up, this one's oh, I might have had this 2 months now. So this is the Monta Noble. Whoop, let's get this the right way with the anthracite dial. Let's wipe this off a little bit here. I just put a gray sweatshirt under these, so I like that better than the plain white folding table I use. It doesn't wash out the color so much. But yeah, Monta Noble, anthracite dial. Man, this has great lume. The indices are done really sharp. I love that the side of the case is brushed, which I don't have on the Tudor Black Bay 58. And you can see some major wear and tear. Can't help it that high polished bezel is starting to pick up little micro scratches, even though I work in an office and don't really beat it up. But you don't really have to too hard with the high polish, surface areas of your watches. Clasps starting to get little dust dive marks on there, but still really happy I got this one. I really think, especially the way I've been looking at watches lately, value for money, really hard to beat Monta. I think real hard to beat Monta. Just the finishing on this is excellent. And you're probably seeing some dust. Anyhow. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. So those are the two new watches, the Monta Noble and the SPB 185. And we got some more. We got the Perennial Classic. This is my first, I'll say, step into quote-unquote luxury, spending, over $1,000. That dial is very dynamic. You can see the way it catches light, the different colors and tones it brings out. When you don't have direct light, it looks almost black. Get it in the light, very green. Oris Aquas, 39.5 millimeter. I've had this since 2020. Some dust diving marks on the clasp, but it's holding up really well. This is the variant with the Salida in the back with their red rotor. So, yeah, I mean, if you ever get one of these and decide you don't really want to go up further the ladder, you don't really have to. This does a lot for you. So, very nice. I love having the date down at 6. I just think it adds to the symmetry. So yeah. And then we have, of course, the SBGA 283 Grand Seiko. Again, we want to keep this in mind when I talk about the new watch obsession that I have. This thing's just beautiful. The case. Again, it does get worn, so if you're seeing in this direct light the little micro scratches and scuffs, I mean, it just is what it is. So, yep, still a big time favorite, and you cannot beat the sweep of a spring drive secondhand. You really can. Champagne dial is supposed to be, I don't know, maybe more difficult. I know it's supposed to have more steps to make this at the Grand Seiko studios than even the Snowflake. So, Grand Seiko Studios. I want to keep that in mind, again, for the new watch obsession. Give you a hint, it's not Grand Seiko. But, it's going to be very well done. Alright, next up, we've got the SRPC 91, Save the Ocean Turtle from, I don't know what, 2018. I put it back on the, call that waffle style strap. I do have a rubber Tropic that's kind of thin and really not good quality. Hint, by the way, I got that from Watch Dives for like 15 bucks, and if you're looking for a quality Tropic strap, I would not probably recommend Watch Dives. So I had to order a new one. Instead of 15, I spent like 30 this time, so should be better quality. But yeah, Turtle, love it. Still, it is what I'd say, a beater watch, I guess. I do wear it for more rough activities. And then here, the Grail of Grails, this thing I wanted, lusted after for years. Tudor Black Bay 58. I don't even need to do a video on this. I should just, bump my numbers, if you will. But there's been so many done, obviously, beat to heck. I've had this since 2021, I want to say, late 2021. I got it about the same time I got the Grand Seiko. I was moving some pieces, but yeah, it lives up to the hype. It is perhaps not as safe as you might think, and I'll talk about that here shortly. But yeah, still a great watch. Probably one of the hardest things for me is, and I don't know how noticeable it is, but the gold on the bezel and just kind of the gold indices, I sometimes feel like I don't have anything to go with that. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I'm weird. It's a beautiful watch. I still love it, but I've had it long enough. Honeymoon's died down. It's not the go-to, the end that I thought it would be, if that makes sense. I really thought once I had that, I'd really never want another watch. But I mean, hey man, here we are. It's a sickness, it's a disease, it really is. It's probably something mentally wrong with me, and probably you too if you're like this, but it is what it is. All right, new obsession. We'll start with the gateway. All right, so the next one is something that, and I don't know, this is going to be janky, but I got to show this to you. So I started looking at the SPB 317. I just like the turtle case. I like the smaller size at 41 millimeters. Obviously, I've had my turtle for a long time. What I like about this one are the indices. I do actually like how they move the date. I know it's kind of small, but for me, I probably won't even see it with these horrible eyes. I'd read like a no date to me. Anyways, I thought I might want one of these, and I, to be fair, probably still do and would take one. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, that one sort of has led me to, oh God, what am I doing here? These. The SLA 055 and 057. If you've made a video about this, or even the SBB 317, not that you'd watch mine because my videos are horrible, but if you've made one and you're watching me now, I am bumping your numbers. Between these and the Slim Turtle, I've been watching every single video, reading all the comments, and yeah. So, among many things that draw me to this, I like the design, the size, the loom, literally everything. And then, why I mentioned the Grand Seiko and the Tudor earlier, is that Tudor is getting pretty beat up, the sides of the case, the clasp, etc. So, I just feel like with this ever brilliant steel being more resistant to scratches, because I've gotten used to sort of the dia shield on the SPB 185 and the SBDC 051 that I had, I felt like it performed so well. And then I look at my Tudor that I spent all this money on, even the Grand Seiko, and there's all these scratches, micro scratches, scuffs, whatever, on the bracelet and the case and the bezel. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I think I'd like it to look newer, longer. These are, I know the 057 is limited edition, like 500 or 600 pieces, something ridiculous. The 055 is one of the Save the Ocean models, and I wouldn't normally do blue, but I've looked at all the videos, and it seems darker than maybe it would normally. I don't know. If they came out with like that 055, but instead of the gilt, like just regular stainless steel indices, because for whatever reason I feel like if I wear gold I have to be a little more matchy. I don't know. I would do either one of those. I would do the 055, the 057, but again, if they came out with one that wasn't gilt, just regular stainless steel, I think that would be more, up my alley, and I definitely have to get that one. So as it is, I'm obsessing over these, watching the videos, thinking about saving a lot more money, thinking about flipping my Tudor. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, especially for the money, these are like 4,000 ish retail, roughly. So, even more money than the Tudor Black Bay. Um, I don't know. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you think. I put my 185 on that rubber strap, like I mentioned earlier, in an attempt to kind of keep me from looking at these so heavily, and that did not work. That did not work. Yeah, and I took it off the rubber strap because I thought it's light, but it's top heavy enough to bobble around a little bit. So I put it back in the bracelet where I feel like I like it better. But yep, new obsession, the SLA models, and really I'm looking at all SLA models at this point. I feel like almost foolish, like I've slept on those. I didn't realize how good they were until I really started watching some videos on them. Sometimes I can be, I don't know, snobbish like that because I've read about them or heard about them before. Oh, they're not regulated and they're not Grand Seiko, and why would you spend all that money? That doesn't even say Grand Seiko, but man, the more I watch and learn about them, I mean, they seem to be done better than the Big R and definitely better than the Tudor. Even watched a video where a guy sold his Black Bay 58 and got the SLA 057 with the gilt indices, and can't say that I disagree with that decision. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. I just wanted to do a video. I hadn't done one in a while. I've been doing a lot of shorts because I actually have time to. It takes like 30 seconds, and I can do those like wrist rolls during the day. And now that I've figured out how to change the music on there, not just going after the pop hits, I'm trying to find stuff that's more my style, which is, if you watched them, you can see I'm into the reggae, Sublime, stuff like that. So, hope you guys are enjoying those. But yeah, new watch obsession, these SLA models. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.